When she talks about just a friend, maybe you've noticed a shift in her behavior, but you're not quite sure if you're overthinking it. Well, today we're diving deep into 7 warning signs that could indicate she's hiding something about her relationship with another guy. And trust me, these aren't just random red flags. These are psychologically backed cues that people often display when they're not being completely honest. So stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll have a sharper eye for the truth and a better understanding of what's really going on. Let's kick things off with sign number 1. She gets overly defensive when you ask about him. A casual friend is just that. Casual. If you ask about a male friend and she reacts with irritation, dismissiveness, or even accuses you of being insecure, it could be a sign she's hiding something. Think about it. Why would a simple question trigger such a strong emotional response? People who have nothing to hide usually answer naturally and move on. But if she gets defensive, it could mean she's feeling guilty or trying to downplay something she doesn't want you to know. For example, if you say, "So, how's Mike doing?" and she immediately rolls her eyes and says, "Oh my God, do we have to go over this again?" That's not normal unless she has a reason to feel exposed. Sign number 2. She suddenly changes how she talks about him. Have you noticed a shift in how she describes their relationship? Maybe at first, she was open about him, mentioning him in stories, or even saying things like, "Oh, Mike? He's like a brother to me." But now she avoids bringing him up altogether, or suddenly downplays their connection. This kind of inconsistency is a classic sign that something has shifted behind the scenes. When people form new emotional bonds, they often become hyper-aware of how they present that relationship to others. If she used to say, "Mike and I always grab coffee after work," but now she just says, "Oh, I had coffee with a friend," she's deliberately trying to create distance in your mind, and that's a red flag. Sign number 3. She gets secretive with her phone. Now let's be real. Privacy is important in any relationship, and everyone deserves it. But there's a big difference between normal privacy and suspicious secrecy. If she used to casually leave her phone on the table, but now she flips it over, takes it with her everywhere, or suddenly sets up new passwords, she might be hiding something. Pay attention to whether she becomes extra jumpy or anxious when she gets a message. A major tell? If she gets a text, glances at it, and then quickly locks her phone without reacting, it often means she doesn't want you to see who it's from. If she's just chatting with her friends, there's no need for that level of caution, right? Sign number 4. Her schedule has weird inconsistencies. Have you noticed unexplained changes in her routine? Maybe she's suddenly working late more often, or she has new girls' nights that don't match her usual habits. When someone is involved with another person, emotionally or physically, they have to create time for it somewhere. If she's not being honest about why she's unavailable, you might notice vague excuses or last-minute plan changes. For example, if she used to text you consistently after work, but now says, "Oh, I was just busy," without explaining what she was doing, that's a pattern worth watching. And if she seems exhausted or emotionally checked out during the time she does spend with you, she might be mentally investing in someone else. Sign number 5. She compares you to him, subtly or directly. This one is sneaky but revealing. If she frequently brings him up in conversations in a way that positions him as an ideal, it might mean she's emotionally torn. Maybe she says things like, "Oh, Mike is so great at listening. He always understands me." Or, "Mike gave me the best advice about work." While it might seem innocent, constant comparisons can be a sign that she's evaluating her options, even if she doesn't realize it. Pay attention to the tone when she mentions him. Is it admiration? A slight excitement in her voice? Even subtle verbal admiration can reveal where her mind is drifting. Sign number 6. She stops being as emotionally or physically present with you. If she used to crave your attention, share intimate details of her day, or initiate affection, but now she seems detached, it could be a sign she's emotionally invested elsewhere. A woman who is emotionally faithful to you will make an effort to connect, even when life gets busy. But if she suddenly stops confiding in you, becomes less affectionate, or seems distracted when you're together, it could be because her emotional energy is going elsewhere. Maybe she's texting someone else under the table while you're talking, or she seems preoccupied even during intimate moments. Emotional withdrawal is often the first step before something more serious happens. Sign number 7. Your gut feeling tells you something is off. This one is the hardest to explain, but the most powerful. Your intuition picks up on tiny micro-behaviors, changes in tone, body language, energy, that your conscious mind might not fully process. If you feel like something is off, it probably is. Have you ever noticed that when you question her, the way she laughs it off feels forced? Or maybe when you bring up a certain topic, her whole demeanor shifts slightly, just enough for you to notice. People often dismiss their gut feelings because they can't pinpoint the exact reason, but if all these signs are adding up, it's worth trusting your instincts. Outrow. So there you have it, 7 warning signs that she might be hiding something. Now, I'm not saying to jump to conclusions or start accusing her without real proof, but if you're noticing multiple signs, it's time to pay attention and have an honest conversation. At the end of the day, relationships thrive on trust, transparency, and respect, and if something feels off, it's better to address it now rather than later. What do you think? Have you ever noticed any of these signs before? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your experiences. And hey, if you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe to Action Alert, and turn on notifications so you never miss a deep dive like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.